Welcome to the Dark Times channel. And so a few weeks ago, I did a video on actor Jonathan Majors, and he was being accused and arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. And not to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but I told y'all in that video that I did, I told y'all that it was going to be too little too late for Mr. Jonathan Majors. The damage was already done. Any kind of redacted statement from his ex-girlfriend trying to explain that she didn't really mean to say what she said, or she didn't say what she said at all altogether. Anything like that was going to be a little bit too little too late. And so now this story just keeps getting worse and worse by the minute. Now there's more alleged victims from Jonathan Majors' past that have come forward and said that he allegedly did something to them. And so now, the more and more that this is unfolding, the more and more it's looking like a setup. And everybody was in on it except Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors was the only one that wasn't in on it. He was the fat girl that they let win Homecoming Queen. They got him all dressed up in pink. Weeks leading up to this, he was on every magazine wearing pink lipstick with his legs crossed and just real questionable photos at best. And so Jonathan Majors just got done releasing two major motion films back to back. It was Ant-Man and the Quantumania, in which it was the debut role as Kang. And then he released Creed 3, which he starred alongside Michael B. Jordan. And so it's no coincidence that, like I said, he was being groomed. And so it's no coincidence that he was being buck broken before those films were launched. And I won't say he was being buck broken. He's somebody, like I said in the previous video, he's somebody that was going along with the program. He was somebody that had no problem with allowing himself to be buck broken. He pretty much buck broke himself in some of these photo shoots and some of these interviews that he was doing.
A few days ago, you were trending on Twitter.
Yep.
Some people didn't like that you were wearing pink and ebony, and they felt like it wasn't masculine enough.
Yeah.
What do you say to those? I mean, I think they're haters. I think it's toxic.
And so Jonathan Majors thought it was all good. Thought he was initiated into Hollywood. Thought he was in Hollywood's good graces. I'm going to read y'all some of the legal documents obtained by the Post, and it's from Jonathan Majors' attorney. It states that a cab driver reported the actor getting assaulted by Jabari on March 25th. And so they have hardcore proof that Jonathan Majors is innocent. You know, this shouldn't even be an issue. They got the cab driver's testimony saying that Jonathan Majors is the one that was actually being assaulted while they were on the way to a Brooklyn bar. You know, this case should have been thrown out and Jonathan Majors should have never been arrested in the first place. And the document goes on to say that the driver proved that Majors did not hit or choke Jabari, his girlfriend, in any way at any time, or even raise his voice to her. So not only did Jonathan Majors get his ass beat by his girlfriend for not giving up his cell phone, but this is somebody who showed a great deal of restraint. It sounded like, you know, he begged the driver to pull over so he didn't have to put his hands on her in any way or even raise his voice. You know, this is a man that was smart enough and had the wherewithal to try to get himself out of that situation as fast as possible. And I'm not going to get into the girlfriend that he chose. I'm not going to get into that because we already know what time it is with that. This is somebody where he shouldn't even have had any dealings with a female like this. If anything, he should have taken a page out of Denzel Washington's book. And y'all know what I mean when I say that. And so it goes on to say that the cab driver reported that the woman was hitting him and scratching him and attacking him, and that the actor, Jonathan Majors, asked him to stop the car so he could escape the onslaught. So like I said, this is somebody who was not running for his life, but he He was running for his career. His career was flashing before his eyes. He was somebody that was smart enough to at least recognize the severity of the situation that he was in. So he said, "Hey, stop the car, pull over, let me get out of here. My career is on the line," allegedly. And so his lawyer says Jonathan Majors is innocent and has not abused anyone. "We have provided irrefutable evidence to the district attorney that charges are false. We are confident that he will be fully exonerated." It goes on to say that later that evening, Jabari, his girlfriend, was spotted in newly released security camera footage obtained by the Post from the NYPD. She was drinking and clubbing while using her right hand, which she later claimed that Majors injured prior to them separating that night. According to the lawyer, the woman called Majors 32 times, as well as sent him several angry texts claiming infidelity and threatening suicide. Meanwhile, the police said that they were originally responding to the 911 call regarding a domestic dispute made by his ex-girlfriend. The woman had told police that Low-Key and Lovecraft Country stars Major grabbed her hand, slapped her when she confronted him about alleged infidelity. Officers said that the woman sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. Majors was taken into custody without incident and charged with strangulation, assault, and harassment, according to the police. So these are some wild accusations, to say the least. With no evidence and no witnesses to corroborate her story, that was enough to have Jonathan Majors arrested, and that was enough to have him dropped by his different agencies and have his commercials dropped and some of his ads dropped, and he's even being removed from a lot of his commitments, a lot of his roles that he had committed to play. They've actually been taken off the table, and now they're even considering taking his role as Kang away from him as well. I don't know if they're going to recast him or just discontinue the character altogether. So the character of Kang is done. He's finished. And so now we have another one-hitter quitter when it comes to so-called black superheroes, leading black superheroes. They did the same thing with Black Panther. Instead of recasting Black Panther, they simply replaced him with a black female. And so, like I said earlier, this incident had very little to do with Jonathan Majors being out in Hollywood. The fix was in from the jump, and you guys are going to see why here in a little bit. But first, I'm going to continue reading some more details surrounding the case. Jonathan Majors' lawyers claimed that the body cam footage from the police shows that the officers were clearly coaching her to say that Mr. Majors had grabbed her by the throat. And so not only was he lied on, but the police were involved as well. So like I said, it goes from bad to worse. And so now the girlfriend, or the ex-girlfriend, I'm not sure what they are now. I would hope that at the very least that it's his ex-girlfriend by now. And so now his ex is caught up in a lie. Because in the text messages that have been released of the two of them going back and forth of the night or the morning of the alleged assault, she's apologizing, and she says she has no idea to why he was arrested, and she says that it was protocol. But according to the lawyer, the police are on camera coaching her what to say, and it's by no coincidence what she's being coached to say is the exact same thing that he's being charged with. So somebody's lying. And so it seems like everything's coming to an end for Jonathan Majors. According to police reports, more women have come forward claiming that Jonathan Majors abused them in some form or fashion. And so the floodgates are open. I wouldn't be surprised if, day by day there were more and more alleged victims coming forward. And so Jonathan Majors definitely got a raw deal. He got done dirty. But it's hard to feel sorry for anybody in Hollywood, let alone somebody that allows themselves to be put in a position where they're buck broken on magazine covers and questionable behavior in interviews and so forth and so on. And so it's hard to feel sorry for somebody like that. But then on the other hand, you never want to see a brother like that, lose his career and lose his ability to earn income and to have income coming in. You never want to see that. But like I said, this is somebody who was set up like the fat girl at homecoming. Everybody was in on it except him. And like I said, somebody of Jonathan Majors' stature within Hollywood, that would have been somebody that would have done well to take the Denzel Washington approach. He doesn't have the protection like a Leonardo DiCaprio or somebody like that to play around within Hollywood and to be this playboy and jump from woman to woman, especially when he's dealing with a woman that belongs to the dominant society. He's somebody that definitely doesn't have that luxury, and I don't know why he thought he did. So shame on him for that. He got an expensive wake-up call. He thought he was going to be somebody dating around like Leonardo DiCaprio or somebody like that. And so he definitely got an expensive wake-up call. And this is something that, unfortunately, he's going to have to live with the rest of his life. And it definitely changed the trajectory of his career. And his career will never recover from this. And so that's unfortunate. And it's really a shame because I liked him in Creed. I thought he did a really good job in Creed. He definitely did his thing on the big screen. And if you haven't had a chance to check out Creed yet, definitely want to check that out. Definitely the best one in the franchise so far. Sylvester Stallone should have been gone. He should have never been in 1 or 2. Maybe a cameo in 1, but definitely he should have been gone. Because Creed 3, you can tell, had a completely different energy and a different vibe to it. And it was nice.
So I want to know what is going on
There's
with you
nothing
in
to
my
talk
house.
about. It's dead. Leave it, let it lie. Not talking about that shit no more.
But hopefully, Jonathan Majors fights the good fight. Hopefully he's cleared of anything and everything that he's being falsely accused of. In best case scenario, hopefully he can keep making Creed movies with Michael B. Jordan, because they definitely had a pretty good chemistry on camera and off camera too, allegedly. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know how y'all think it's gonna play out. And as usual, peace and chaos.